Hello and welcome to another video, and this one is brought to you in my Christmas pyjamas. And this video is basically a list of books that I want to get through during the year. Obviously I will read more than what this list is. It's just me setting myself a goal of some books that I definitely want to try and read. One of the books that was originally on the list I have ended up reading in 2022, probably the last book of 2022 that I'll have read, and that was For Your Memory Fades. It was meant to be towards my reading next year, but ended up reading it well ahead of schedule. And the first thing that I want to try and start, at the very least, is The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I don't think I really have to give this much explanation. Yeah, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. It's one of those classics at this point. I am going to buddy read this with somebody at work who hasn't read it either. We just need to organise when to do that, to be honest. I'll probably vlog that too, to be fair. I think I'm going to do it for the entire series, just to see how that goes, just like I've been doing with Bridget Jones' Diary. The next thing I have is, I believe, going to be the children's book of the month for January 2023, Waterstones. And this is The Night Animals by Sarah Ann Dukes. And I know very little about this, other than a little girl's mum has good and bad days, and those days are getting worse, and she finds herself seeing these strange animals that shouldn't exist. And somehow they help her overcome whatever the problem is that she finds herself having. But other than that, I know nothing about the book, but I do hope to get to this in January. The next book I have is The Chain by Adrian McKinty. I did want to read this several months ago, but I never really got round to it. And this is about a child being kidnapped, and the only way to get your child back is to have another child kidnapped, basically. Pretty rough. Yeah. So each family ends up part of a chain, basically. But beyond that, literally nothing. Haven't looked at reviews, but I do want to read it. The next book that I have is another daunting one. It's totally different to The Lord of the Rings, but they're both kind of classics at this point. Very daunting, but and this is Watership Down by Richard Adams. And having never seen the movie for this, I know very little about it. All I know is that a bad thing happens which has traumatized a generation that has seen the movie. And the movie is still considered a children's movie by its original rating system, which sounds bizarre considering how graphic it is. But anyways, I do plan to read this, or at least attempt to, and this book is quite a beast, so this one will take quite some time, and it's like 617 pages, so this is going to be a lengthy one. It's going to take a while, so let's hope that I actually like that one. The next book that I have is Bad Luck and Trouble by Lee Child. I am currently reading The Hard Way by Lee Child, and this one is the next one in the series by, I believe, Publication Order, which is how I'm reading them. And all I know about this specific one is that some of Jack Reacher's old work buddies are in trouble. One of them dead, some of them missing, and he's the one that is going to end up finding out what happens to them. But other than that, I know nothing, which is how I usually start any Jack Reacher novel is to know nothing and hope for the best, and 99% of the time that is exactly how it goes. It works out in the end, and I do enjoy it. So I am expecting to enjoy this one. And the next 3 books are all set locally and are written by local authors to me in the Northeast. And the first one that I have is Holy Island by L.J. Ross, and she is exceptionally popular in the Northeast. I don't know about the rest of the country. I don't keep up with sales of local authors elsewhere in the country, outside of the Northeast. And in this one, Chief Inspector Ryan retreats to Holy Island, and has been told to do so from work, to have some time off, relax, and of course, and things like that never go to plan, where chief inspectors are concerned, and someone is murdered, and he's then thrust back into work without actually wanting to be. And then the story, of course, unfolds from there. L.J. Ross regularly comes into my workplace. She writes some of her books in work. She drinks coffee at my workplace. So it's nice to see her. It's nice to see her face every time she's in. So yes, and I have, for some reason, have never read any of her books yet. I bought another copy for my mum as well. So yeah, we will both hopefully read this year. I mean, I know I will, but I don't know about my mother. And the next book that I have is even more local than Newcastle to me, and this is The Secret of Haven Point by Lisette Orton. And I don't really know what to say about this book because I haven't really looked into it. But there's a group of children who that Haven Point has become this little hub too, essentially, and weird things happen, I believe. And other than that, I have no clue what happens. I had been looking at this book for a while and saw it on the shelf at work a while back and had to buy it. Like, it was an instant, I need it. So I got it from work. As soon as I saw it, I was like, it's mine. And I will say there is disability rep in this book for anybody who would like to buy this for a child between the ages of 9 and 12. So that should be good for that age range. And the last book that I have to show you today is The Accidental Medium by Tracy Whitwell, and this follows a woman called Tans, who is a previously very successful Gateshead-born actress, who then finds out later on that she is actually a medium. And during this whole process, she ends up trying to solve a crime and or a mystery. But I haven't read into it too much, to be honest, but I did write a recommendation card for a book that I've never read at work, and sold some because of that recommendation card, which was great. Even though I've never read it, I was pleased that it sold some copies. So yes, I upsold local fiction at work without having read it, which is wonderful, just out of my sheer excitement because of its locality. So I do genuinely look forward to this. It caught my eye pretty quickly at work on the shelf because the cover's really good, but it does sound up my alley, to be honest. And I highly look forward to this book and all of the others that I've shown you today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.